Hey everybody, my name is Shane and today I was inspired to sit down and film another tutorial for you guys. So this is the look that we came up with. So we ended up doing like this really smoky purple gold spotlight look today. I was really excited because I also got to use a brand new lip product, which I am wearing on my lips right now, which is from the ColourPop Hello Kitty collection. Unfortunately, the collection is no longer available. I will really quickly admit, this makeup currently right now, what you're seeing is not fresh. I had filmed the actual tutorial earlier this morning, but I ended up, when I finished and I was doing my hair to get ready to film my intro and my outro, I ended up getting a pretty rough phone call that led to some crying. Don't worry, everything is totally okay. Like everything has been worked out. But with that said, you can definitely see some like dark circles underneath my eyes, and my face makeup simply isn't as fresh as it would look like when I did it a couple hours ago. So I just want to let you guys know kind of why my face now might look a little bit different than at the end of this video. So I was gonna sit down today. I wasn't exactly sure what I was gonna film. I definitely got inspired and I truly thought that at the end of it that this could totally be like a holiday look if you didn't want to go with the traditional just silver, gold, red, green kind of theme. I really liked this and I could totally see myself wearing it for Christmas and the holidays. So with that being said, that's why I wanted to post it around the holidays. But if you guys want to see how I got this look, then please keep watching. Okay, so I figured in the last couple of tutorials that I've posted, I've shown my full face routine. So I really wanted to just concentrate on the eyes today. So I did go ahead, I did my primer, my foundation, my concealer, my cream contour, and currently my face is baking with some setting powder. I do have kind of a little update on the Monistat cream that I've been using as a primer. I had kind of like an embarrassing situation the other day, which luckily it was just with my family, where I had put on this virtual reality mask, and when I took off the mask, it literally took all of like this foundation off, and I was like, oh my goodness. And at the time, I had used this primer and then my, where is it? Healthy Elixir foundation, which is right here. But I did not use a setting spray, but I really don't think that matters because I've been noticing that when I'm putting this Monistat cream, I can still see large pores right here and I can see them currently. So I am absolutely in love with the consistency of this product and I love the price of the product, but it may not fully be for me because I just do tend to have, you know, fine lines on my forehead that tend to poke through, fine lines under my eyes that poke through, and then the pore situation. So I think soon, if not like my next kind of makeup tutorial is gonna be a versus. So I'm gonna go out and try to find a similar priced primer at the drugstore and then do half my face with this primer, half my face with a new primer, and then I'm gonna set it all in using a setting spray as well. I just don't have all of those products currently, so at the moment I just use this, but I just want to let you know that I might start looking for something else. Don't knock it until you try it though, because I've heard so many people it works for them. I think it's just because I just have such a bad habit of sleeping in my makeup, clogs up my pores, and I already have large pores, so that certainly doesn't help my situation. So again, try it for yourself. I tried it and I did love it for a while until I started noticing just really right down here I could really still see my pores, which is not fun. But today we do have another product to try. I did go out to the drugstore this morning because I had been using the Revlon Color Stay brow pencil in dark brown, and at first I really liked it, but as I used it I found that the product that comes out itself was a little bit too thick, like a little too big, so I couldn't get like fine lines in my brows, and I've been really wanting to opt out for natural brows. So I had been using at first the brow pencil from Anastasia, the Brow Wiz, which I loved. I ran out of that, so I started using the pomade. The pomade is great, it's just a little bit too dark for me. Not even really dark, it's just too bold of a brow for what I'm trying to go for. And then I was using an angled brush, which if you turn it on its side, it is very, very, very thick. So I was having a difficult time finding a brow brush that was thin. Although I am gonna look this up super quick so I give you the correct information. Okay, so Dose of Color here, which I've actually never purchased any of their products. They have a, what they call a winged liner brush, but it is so super thin and angled. And I think they get that it's great for brows too because they actually have a spoolie on the other side. So if I don't end up liking this pencil that we're gonna try today, I'm probably just gonna go and get that brush and then a powder. So that way, you know, I don't have to keep buying a pencil, but I have another option as well. So if you guys are kind of struggling with your brows, try that out. Today we are trying from L'Oreal Paris the Brow Style Definer. I ended up getting brunette. They also had, you know, blonde, dark blonde, brunette, and then a dark brown option. I was going back and forth between the dark brown and the brunette, but I figured I'd rather go lighter than darker at first. So if this is too light, I can always go a shade darker. This caught my attention. Ooh, when I took off that paper, it gave me the chills. I hate that noise. This reminded me a lot in the packaging. We will take a look. Ooh, it reminded me of the Anastasia Brow Wiz. So, ooh, it is very thin, which I'm really, really excited about. And then, of course, it has the spoolie on the other side. So I'm not going to do like a full brow talk through at the moment, but I am going to do this real quick, just kind of as a first impression. So I'm going to brush my hairs up and out of the way. And I actually saw, you know what, we're going to try this. Why not? I saw, I believe, Christian Dominique do this, like, I was watching brow do's and brow don'ts, and she actually used a clear brow gel before she put on her pencil. So I'm gonna give that a try real quick. My pencil is so stained from the pomade, but it is clear, so I'm just going to run this lightly over my brows and put the hairs in place. And I think this is gonna make it easier to maybe fill in a little more naturally, or it could end in catastrophe. That's what we're gonna find out right now. Now that you're up close, you may be able to see, you see these like fine lines under my eyes still, and then maybe some pores here. Even on my forehead you can see fine lines. What's the point of putting on foundation and concealer if that's gonna, you know, pop up? It could be so many different things. It could be my concealer, it could be the powder, it could be the primer. It's just a matter of kind of eliminating. So I got some work to do. Well, let's go ahead and try this and see what I think. I like using soft, short motions. Like, I don't like to just drag the pencil. Oh, I need glasses so bad. My vision is getting worse and worse. Maybe if I put on the magnifying side, that'll help me a little bit. I mean, it almost looks like no product is showing up. I can start to see it fill in a little bit, but I think that's good, especially if I'm trying to go for that really natural look. So I'm gonna continue doing this and we'll see how I like it. See, the problem is my brows are already so naturally thick and dark. They're just kind of these bald spots, and then my tail isn't as thick as this is. Like, I don't over pluck, I don't over wax. It's literally just hair just doesn't grow there. I don't think I liked the idea of putting the gel down first because I feel like it's kind of making it difficult for me to apply the brow product. It looks already thicker and more filled in with just a few couple strokes, and it does look very, very natural. I'm not totally finished, but I think I'm gonna finish this eye really quick and then do this eye and then put, oh wait a minute, I already put the brow gel on this crap. So they're filled in, and like I said, with that brow gel, it made it a little bit difficult to get the exact shape that I wanted, but I am quite happy with them. Again, they're much more natural. They're not as thick, although I think this one comes in a little bit more than this one does. So let me fix that real quick. I just try to feather the front of my brow and then brush it out with this spoolie. I don't know, but I'm pretty happy with it. It reminds me so much of the Brow Wiz, and I really do like this one. This one is much more firm than the one that that's my old Anastasia brush, than the Rimmel or the Revlon one I just showed you. This one was definitely like a cream product, where this one's just much more like a pencil. It's firmer, so I'm able to achieve those hair-like brush strokes. So far I really like this. I didn't like the idea of me putting on the brow gel first. It didn't work for me. Maybe my brow gel was a little bit just too, it's from e.l.f., so I don't want to say like it's cheap, but it didn't really let my hairs move at all. So I was trying to fill it in, it was like so again, the next time that I fill in my brows, I am going to just try to fill them in first and then go over again with the brow gel. But today I wasn't sure what I wanted to sit down and film for a video, so I did look up some inspiration and I found this picture here, and it's like a purple smoky eye with a spotlight of gold. So we're gonna try to recreate something like that today. So the first thing that I'm going to do is put a little bit more concealer on my eyes. Before this bakes too long, I'm gonna just wipe this away. Like you can see, that's sheer frustration. Anyways, moving on from that, please ignore that. I don't know what I can do about it at the moment, but I'm going to take a little bit of my MAC Cover Out Concealer, and I use the Naked Skin applicator, and I'm just going to apply this and then just blend it out with my fingers. Next, I am going to take my Morphe 35W palette, and I need to play with this palette some more because I've found while playing with it on my own, some of the colors are really pigmented and then some of the colors, like nothing shows up. Like I love this orange one here that's super pigmented, same as this orange one. I haven't really played with the purples yet, but the swatches are okay. Some of the neutrals are fantastic, like this is one of my favorite neutrals right here, but then some of them just really don't show up. So I don't know, it's kind of a hit and a miss, like a love-hate relationship with this palette, but I do like setting my concealer with it. So I'm just going to take a fluffy brush, and I'm probably gonna go into this shade here, which is pretty close to my skin tone, and I'm just going to pat it right over the concealer. So I'm setting the cream before we add any more powders over it, because it's gonna help the color eyeshadow blend over this powder instead of trying to blend it all over a cream. Figured the best palette to achieve the kind of look that we're going for today is the Modern Renaissance palette. I feel like with any sort of, I kind of think of it as like vintagey colors. I am going to take this Anastasia duo-sided brush, which this one may have come from the Modern Renaissance palette or the Subculture palette, but I'm going to take up Bon Fresco here on the fluffy side, and I am just going to start sweeping this into my crease. I am honestly barely grazing my skin, and I'm just using some circular motions. So I'm kind of blending as I go. It honestly depends on the look that I'm doing. Sometimes I'll just apply the product, blend it out, apply the product, blend it out. For this one, I want it to be really, really soft, really smoky, really sultry, so I'm just gonna blend out each color as I go. Again, by just using these soft circular motions. I'm gonna bring it right in my inner corner here as well. Not really on my lid, but like the inner corner of my crease, which I don't really do very often, but for this look, I just want it to be very purple and pink and vintage and, again, smoky. By the way, I know that this is really random, but while I'm doing this eyeshadow, I have been looking online for both lenses for this camera because the focus is a little bit slow, and sometimes, especially with makeup tutorials, it'll go out of focus on me. So I've been looking at, you know, new lenses to help with that issue, but I've also been looking for a new microphone, because a lot of the times when I'm filming, no matter what I'm filming on this camera, I get kind of this hissing in the background. So then I try to use some of the audio tools in my video editor, but it's mostly just reducing background noise, which can make my voice sound a little bit off. But I have this blue Yeti here, and I've been kind of like, I'm like, why can't I use that for my camera? So I think today, after I film, I'm gonna try to go to Best Buy and see if there is a cord that could connect my camera to that microphone. Because in that case, I already have a microphone, so the audio can greatly improve in my videos, which would be really fantastic. So hopefully we can get that situated soon. Next, I'm going to take this unicorn brush, actually, which came from Forever 21, and I'm going to go into Love Letter here. And this one is so super pigmented, I'm literally gonna barely touch my skin and you can already see it poking through. So I'm just gonna sweep this in my crease as well, but I'm gonna keep it quite concentrated. I'm not gonna go far above the crease. So I'm just gonna sweep it back and forth. And for this one, because it is so pigmented, I'm just gonna drag the color over onto this eye too. I didn't even dip again. This is literally just what's in my brush's bristles. So as the color is diluting a little bit, I'm going to start blending this out. I'm just not going to bring it up as high as we blended Bon Fresco, because once everything is said and done, I want you to be able to see the different layers of color. Oh, hello, Mr. Zit. How are you today? I'm going to go back in with a fluffy brush with no extra product, but just blend out that edge a little bit more. I'm actually going to take that same love letter color that we just used on the same brush, and I'm going to flick this into my outer V and start working it on my lid a bit. It's okay if on the lid it's a little bit messy because we're going to go in with concealer a little bit later, but I just want this outer corner really smoked out. I'm kind of patting the product on and then blending it in. I'm going to blend the edges out a little bit more in just a minute, but I'm also going to take Love Letter and put it on my inner corner as well. Taking that same fluffy brush with nothing on it, I'm just going to blend out the corners a little bit to give it more of a smoky feel. So the look is turning out a little more pink than purple, obviously because I'm using pink tone colors, but I was just talking about this Morphe palette, how there's a couple purple shades I haven't used yet, so I'm kind of feeling like adding a little bit into this look today. So I'm going to take this duo-sided brush from the Vice Urban Decay palette, and I think I'm going to go into this dark purple shade here. I mean, it has quite a bit of fallout, but I just want to work this into the crease and deepen it up a little bit, and again add more of a purple tone to the look. I brought Love Letter up just a little bit higher so I could blend in this purple a little bit more and you could see the difference between the colors, but I'm just working the purple pretty much right in the crease here. I'm definitely gonna do a purple smoky eye, trying to use this palette in the near future because I'm just really curious. Again, I'm trying to figure out which shadows in this palette are really pigmented, which ones don't really work. I think doing a purple smoky eye would be a great way to test that out. I'm also going to add a little bit of this purple just really in the outer V. I'm going to flick it on the lid a little bit, but again, I don't want to take away from that pink, adding a little bit of definition with that dark purple. Same thing on the inner corner, but I'm keeping it closer to my tear duct. Ooh, I almost just dropped that Morphe palette. I'm getting a little bit of fallout on my cheeks, so I'm gonna wipe that away as I go. Then flipping the Vice brush over, which you get kind of a denser, almost flat shader brush, I'm gonna go back into my Modern Renaissance palette. I'm going to pick up this shade here called Antique Bronze. And I'm not really gonna swipe this color too much, but I'm gonna pat it right in this crease. And then I'm gonna flip the brush over and blend it out ever so slightly, just so it's not super harsh. That's probably all the blending I'm gonna do. I get a little intimidated with dark looks just because I like my eyes to look really big and doe-like, and whenever I do dark looks, it just closes off my eyes a bit, but practice does make perfect. And then again, the same kind of method, I'm just gonna kind of pat it, but I'm just gonna put this in that outer V. Again, not really blending it anywhere, just keeping it concentrated. Okay, perfect. Now we are moving on to cutting the crease, so let's do it. Let me go ahead and find my concealer. So I'm still using my Select Cover Up concealer from MAC. I think it's fantastic for cutting the crease. It's one of my favorite uses for it. So I always put a little bit on the back of my hand. A little really does go a long way with this product. See what I mean about the focusing? And then I like to use a really flat shader brush. This brush is only used for cutting the crease. So I'm going to take a little bit on the back of my hand, and I actually put a little bit more product than I think I need on the brush at first. But that Antique Bronze shadow that we just applied, I kind of want to use that as my guideline. So I want that color to poke through. So my cut crease is only going to start about maybe halfway in the Antique Bronze. How the heck are you supposed to explain that? So to help you guys kind of see what I'm doing, I'm just going to use the mirror in this palette, and I'm going to use the very tip of this brush to start mapping out where I want this cut crease to be. Okay, quick change of plans. I'm gonna take this really tiny, tiny brush here. I'm gonna create a line where I want the cut crease to be. So it just created this kind of crescent moon shadow, so you should see shadow right over that line as well. That's what I want. And then I'm gonna go back in with this brush. I'm gonna create a streak right down the middle. And then I'm gonna start patting the concealer on either side. And as you're blending, you can totally wipe off your brush. So let's say you have a little bit too much concealer and you want it to start to fade into the other colors. Just wipe off your brush on the back of your hand and then continue patting this in. And now you don't have that much product, so it's gonna be easier to start fading that concealer. The other side has a little more concealer that I can pat on, flip the brush over, and then continue blending it. This takes a lot of patience and a lot of practice. If you don't get it down, just keep at it. It took me quite a while to find a technique that I really enjoyed. So I'm keeping the cut crease quite in the middle. I do have to blend it on this side as well, but I don't want it to go too far because I want the colors on the side to poke through. The middle should be brighter, while you can see on the edges it kind of starts to fade out. So that's the look that we're going for. So I'm just going to do the other eye really quick off camera. Alright, I think they both match pretty well. I think this one maybe blends out a little bit farther, but that's okay, we can totally fix that. So I wanted the center of my lid to be gold, and the Morphe palette actually has this gold here, which I have not used yet, but it seems pretty pigmented, so we're gonna give it a try. So taking a flat shader brush, I'm just gonna pick up some of this product, and I'm gonna just start patting this on the lid right over that concealer. Okay, it's not really showing up. So instead, I'm gonna take Primavia, and same thing, but go right over that. Oh yeah. That's the thing about these Anastasia palettes. Like, I know there's a big complaint about fallout, but they're so pigmented, I can just almost excuse it. Makeup is messy. It looks glamorous, but it's super messy. And I am gonna bring it right to the edge of that concealer, although we are gonna blend more shadows there, but that's okay. I feel like we can do something even stronger. I'm gonna do the other eye and then take a look in my collection and see if there's not something that we can use to go on top of this. You know what? I have this tiny little sample from MAC. It's their pigment in tan, and I think I'm gonna try it. It's a little bit darker than what I wanted, but I think what I'm gonna do is add tan and then maybe just put a pop of gold again right in the middle. When working with pigments, I do like to wet my brush, so I am just gonna give it a quick spritz with some setting spray and then go in and pick up some of this pigment. All right, I'm just gonna try using my finger, which seems to work a little bit better. It seems to pick up some more of this product. And then I'm just going to use the brush to kind of get the edges up here so I get a nice crisp line. But I feel like with your fingers, it just helps pick up the pigment a little bit better. But that's definitely, oh yeah. I'm going to save adding the pop of gold for last. So I'm going to go back into Love Letter here. Again, with the Urban Decay Vice brush, it's just a little more of a smaller blending brush, and I'm just going to help blend Love Letter back into the crease, or back on my lid a little bit. So where the pigment meets the eyeshadow, I'm just slightly blending. And I think I'm going to just take the smallest bit of this Venetian red here and just pop it on right next to Love Letter. Then I'm going to go back into Primavia, this time just using my finger, and just dab it on the very center of my lid. And to brighten it up even further, I'm going to go into Vermeer, which is right above Primavia, and put that right in the center again. For my bottom lash line, I'm pretty much going to do what I did up here, but almost in reverse. So stick with me. Using a pencil brush, I'm going to pick up Bon Fresco, which was the very first crease shade that we used. And I'm just going to sweep this right underneath my lash line. In the outer corners, I am sweeping it up. And I'm going to stop right about where my bottom lashes stop. As I'm blending this color, I am blending it a little bit further down, because when I add more shades, I still want this color to poke through. Then going back into Love Letter, which I feel like we used a lot of in this look. Again, smoking it on my lower lash line, but this time I'm just not going to smoke it down as far, and I'm bringing it up closer to my lashes. Then to add just a little bit more definition on my outer corner, I'm going to go into Antique Bronze and a little bit of Cypress Umber, which is a dark chocolatey brown, just for the outer corners. It's gonna make my lashes look a little fuller as well. Alright, whew, that was a lot of eyeshadow, so we're going to wipe that away. And I'm actually using one more new product as well. I knew today that I wanted, hello, I feel like I do this all the time. Well, too bad you can't see it anyways. I knew I wanted to do something with gold today, so when I was looking for a brow product, I came across this, and I do have another one of these, I think in a blue shade, but it's from Scandal Eyes from Rimmel London, and I got the shadow, the shade called Bulletproof Beige, and these are waterproof as well, so they're fantastic for the waterline. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of this. So I wanted to try to keep my eyeliner quite thin, but I kept kind of messing up and it got thicker and thicker and thicker. But I feel like this one is a little bit thicker than this one, so I'm gonna try to add something to kind of fix that a little bit. I don't know how this is gonna look. It may ruin the whole thing. I don't know. But I'm going to take this NYX Studio Gel Liner in Extreme Gold, and I'm just going to pretty much follow my liner, but I'm going to go right underneath it, so it kind of creates a gap in between my bottom lash line and my liner. I don't know, we're going to give it a try. It's all about playing with makeup, so I need a really steady hand for this though, so I'm not going to talk for a second. Okay, that kind of looks, I don't know, I thought it looked kind of cool. Just realized we weren't done with eyeshadow because I didn't add a inner corner highlight, so let's do that super quick. I'm probably just gonna go into Vermeer again, which is kind of like the pinkier of the shades, and I'm just going to add this on the inner corner, and this is gonna really help brighten up the look, make my eyes look a little more awake. I do, if I'm talking in a makeup tutorial, that means I'm filming on a Thursday when my husband's downstairs with my daughter, which means I film first thing in the morning, so my eyes are just very, very tired and very watery. All right, I'm going to quickly pop on some mascara. Can you believe I literally haven't had to buy a new tube of this L'Oreal Telescopic in, like, I'm just running out of it, and I've had it forever, and I use it every single day. Well, when I do makeup, of course. Definitely should have picked up a new tube though while I was out at the drugstore, but I honestly wanted to do a look like this now before the holidays because I feel like everybody kind of goes for the traditional, you know, silver or gold look for Christmas, and I just wanted to do something a little bit different. So I was inspired by that picture, but I thought that, you know, now would be a great time to show you maybe another option that you could totally pull off for Christmas. I feel like adding that gold liner too really helped, you know, bring in like the festivities. So I don't know, give it a try. If you do try this look, please let me know. I love seeing your recreations. Already with just one coat of mascara, I like it that much better. So we're gonna pop on some on the bottom lashes as well. Who is Snapchatting me? I am using my Salon Perfect 615 lashes, just one pair today, but I had a pair that I used the other day. I didn't wear makeup yesterday, but when I did my makeup for work the other day, I wore this pair. So I'm just gonna reuse these, although I'm not a fan of Kylie, and that's kind of why I haven't bought any of her makeup, but I really do love her lashes. So I looked online at what lashes that she was wearing, and mama ain't gonna pay $30 for one pair of lashes after shipping and handling. No thank you. I will go and find a dupe someday. I think that's just, it's crazy. I wear lashes all the time. I can't. And then I'm gonna lose them and feel really bad about losing them. It's not gonna happen. So while my lashes get tacky for a moment, I'm just gonna start bronzing up my face. I am actually gonna use the Becca Sunlit Bronzer in Capri Coast. And what I first do is take a, it's not like super fluffy, like a brush blush brush. It's a little more dense, but it still is a fluffy brush. Just tap it off. Even though I cream contoured, I like to still go in and kind of bronze up my face. And honestly, we might skip out on blush today and just kind of use the bronzer and have the main focal point, of course, be the eyes. And then we are going to match it with a lip. I have a couple of options we're going to play with. I'm not sure what 100% what I'm going to do yet, but we'll figure it out in just a moment. But I am going to bronze up my cheeks. And again, because I'm not using blush, I'm going to bring it up on my apples a little bit. I'm going to pause from blending for a moment. Just go ahead and pop on these lashes before they dry too much. Alright, I'm going to give those a moment to completely dry before we go over the band with our liquid liner again, and I'm going to continue blending this out. So I applied all the bronzer with this brush, but then I have this little kabuki brush from e.l.f. that I like to just kind of go over it a little bit just to make sure there's no harshness, and I feel like it makes it just look a little more natural. For highlighter, honestly, my Becca one, it broke and it's downstairs at the moment, so I am just going to use this Carly Bybel one, which I'm not just saying like, oh, I'm just going to use it because it's here. It is a great palette and I use it all the time. So I'm going to take this e.l.f. highlighting brush here and I'm going to go into this gold shade. Now, I don't like crazy highlight because then I feel like it makes my skin look too textured, which your girl's already battling with texture, so I'm just going to use soft circular motions, and this highlight is quite pigmented, so a little really does go a long way. But I'm just going to highlight my cheekbones using my finger just to bring a little bit down the center of my nose, only because I cream contoured, so I feel like if I don't add highlight it doesn't look quite complete. Just going to put like a little tiny bit on the tip of my nose. For my lips, like I said, I had a couple different options and I really, where'd they go? I swear, I did swatches. Where the heck did they all go? So I have been dying to use this for such a long time, and I feel like today is such a great look to use it for. So this is Hello Kitty. Hello. This is ColourPop's Hello Kitty collaboration. They did, oh gosh, I think I honestly got this back in March or so. So that collaboration, unfortunately, is no longer a patooey. But this is an ultra matte lip in the color called Mimi. So is this the right one? Yeah, okay. So it's a little bit of a darker purple. So out of the 3 swatches, it's this one here. So I'm gonna fill in my lips entirely with this shade. It's so pretty, I'm so excited. So I am going to let this dry. I'm going to go over the lash band with a little bit of liquid liner, add a little more mascara, and I'm gonna bring you guys back when my hair is done, we're dressed, and show you the final look. So I hope you guys ended up enjoying the tutorial. I do really love how it came out. Obviously, I just wish, you know, my makeup held up a little bit better. I do have a quick couple things I want to talk about. Since, of course, this is a couple hours later, I could kind of see how the products I used on my face held up. The eyeshadow still looks the same as I applied it. Of course, underneath the eye got a little bit smudged, again, from crying earlier today. Not a big deal. The foundation, however, I mean, I'm seeing a little bit of pores. Maybe I can bring you guys in and show you. All right, this is super close and personal, but I don't know how well it's gonna show up on camera, but like right here is where I kind of see my biggest pores, and you can see underneath my nose a little bit the foundation kind of came off a little bit from when like my nose was running, and then of course I like rubbed my nose, so a little bit of the tip of my nose, the foundation and product came off. But like I said, the eyeshadow seemed to hold up. Also, I have brief thoughts on this color. I love the color. I think it's a fantastic color for the fall and the winter. I will just say one quick thing about it is that it's not the most comfortable ultra matte lipstick or lip. liquid lipstick that I've used from ColourPop. I've used Times Square, I've used Beeper, I've used Speed Dial. They're all a little bit drying, I will admit. That doesn't really bother me so much. For other people it may, so I will say that about the Ultra Matte lips. The satin lips have like a velvety matte kind of finish, which I think are much more comfortable, like the Aquarius that I own. But this one seemed to be the driest of any of them that I've really used, and I also noticed a lot that it kept almost clumping up in the corners. So like when I would press you know, a paper towel against it, like little chunks of the liquid lip would kind of form and go on that paper towel. So that was a little uncomfortable. So I would say I had to reapply this. We did go out to eat and stuff. I reapplied it maybe twice, which I think is kind of a lot. Granted, I did not use a lip liner. I don't have a suitable lip liner in my collection at the moment, so that's why I went out. But you know, for somebody who maybe doesn't have a lip liner, I'm just letting you know how this would wear. So I think the color is fantastic. I'm still gonna link a dupe if I can find one. If there's nothing down there, I'm gonna post if I find something similar, but if I can't find a pretty good match, I'm just not gonna put anything down there. What the hell? I'm not gonna put anything down there if I can't find something super similar. So that is gonna do it. I am very excited. I am gonna give you guys a sneak peek. I am gonna give you guys like a little hint on what I think my next makeup tutorial will be, because I am not sure how much longer the collection is gonna be at ColourPop, because I feel like it's been a long time. I don't want to give away the palette that I'm getting, but at the same time I kind of want to make sure that you guys can get your hands on it if you still want to by the time my video gets out. So if you want to see what collaboration that I'm doing, then you want to log on to the ColourPop, go under the collab, and I think there are 4 collaborations. I think there's a Kathleen Lights collaboration, of course the one that I'm getting, which is very colorful and very kid inspired, will be my hint for you guys, but I think that will be my next collection piece. So if you're curious about what it is or want to try to get your hands on it, then go on to ColourPop. Otherwise, I will see you guys in my next tutorial. Bye!